So far we've learned in y equals mx plus b, so write this down right here. The m is the rate, also known as slope. And they might call it rate, they might call it unit rate, they might call it rate of change. But if you hear the words rate, what are they talking about? They're talking about the slope. If you hear the word rate, what are they talking about? The slope. So, what is unit rate? What is rate of change? Are they the same thing? They're not exactly the same thing, but they're both slope. A unit rate is a rate in which the second quantity is 1. Now, have y'all ever been to the store and bought gas with your parents?
Yes.
How do they advertise gasoline? Is it telling you how it's per 1 gallon, right? That is a unit rate because how much I spend depends on how many gallons I put in my car. A unit rate is how much for 1. Where rate of change doesn't always mean how much for 1, it might just be 2 quantities being compared. But they are both what? Slope. These are both what? Slope. Does everybody understand that? The only difference is unit rate will start at 0 and rate of change might not start at 0. That's the only difference, but they are both slope. All right, so let's look at how these questions can be asked on the STAR test. I need everybody sitting up and paying. Look at the first question. Without reading it, do you see the question right here? What is this word?
Slope.
Do y'all see the word rate? And Nicholas said, hey, that means slope. How many different ways have I taught you to find slope? Lots, right? Could you do slope formula? I need y'all to wake up. Could you do slope formula? Yes. Could you do stat?
Yes.
Which one do you want to do?
Slope formula is better.
So one person wants to do slope formula. That's fine. Most of us want to do stat. So let's write that down. We're going to use stat. All right. Here we go. Go to stat. Which option do I pick? 1 for edit. Delete everything that's there. Go to stat, edit. Now we're going to put in our X's, so hit 2, enter, 4, enter, 6, enter. Now put in our Y's, 200, enter, 350, enter, 500, enter. So your screen should look like mine. Now hit stat, go to calc, go to option 4, and hit enter 5 times. Which one of these numbers is the rate? Which one of these is the slope? Where do you see 75? I must have put it in wrong. 2, 4, 6. Oh, look what I did wrong. Yep. Okay, stat calc 4. So always check over your stuff because y'all see how I just missed a 0. So what is the slope? So what is the rate? 75. And it goes before the decimal. Super easy, yes? Now, on the next question, they're talking about the same thing, but it's a graph. So everybody look at the question. The situation is best described by which statement? Do you know what it's asking for? No, it didn't ask yet, right? But look at the answer choices. What do they all say in them? They don't say slope. What do they all say? Per. What is per a clue word for? Okay, how many different ways have I taught you to find slope? Could I do rise over run? But are they counting by ones? Okay, could I do stat? But how many coordinates do I need for stat?
4.
I just need 2. So here's a dot. And here's a dot. Now, in order for you to use stat, you have to be able to write a coordinate. What is this coordinate called? 0 what? 0 what? 0, 0. What is this coordinate called? What is the x value here?
2.5.
Everybody look, it's between 2 and 3. What is it?
5.
It's 2.5.
12.
And what's the y? 12. So I can go to stat because most of us are not good at counting by halves, right? So I go to stat, edit. I have 0 inner, 2.5 inner. Over here I have 0 inner, 12 inner. Stat calc, option 4. What are they saying the slope is? 4.8. Now stop and look at the answer choices. None of them are 4.8, are they? But look what it says on the side over here. Do y'all see it says hundreds? So 4.8, you would just multiply that by 100. Which one is it going to be? It's going to be A. So it will give you the right answer. You just have to change it to hundreds.
How do you restore the thing?
Did you delete your list? Okay, it's stat, and then choose option 5, and hit enter. And it should say done, yes? Okay, turn to the back. Last question. Shh. This is kind of a matching game. It says, an apartment complex provides 4 covered parking places for 15 apartments. Which graph displays this relationship? Well, guys, your point is either going to be 4, 15 or 15, 4, yes? Well, look at the graph. Which axis do you think 15 is going to have to go on? Yeah, so it's definitely this one. Because they're counting by 5s on the x-axis, yes? So I go to 15. Here's 5, 10, 15, and where should there be a dot at? At 4. But was A correct? No, because it was way over here. So I go to B. I go to 5, 10, 15. Was there a dot at 4? No. Go to C. 5, 10, 15. Was there a dot at 4? Yes. So the answer is C. Now, real quick, I want you to look at D. 5, 10, 15. Was there a dot at 4? But why is D not the answer? Because it's a 0 slope, and it's basically saying it doesn't matter how many apartments are, there's always 4 parking spaces. And that's not true. It says for every 15 apartments, there's 4. So if I had 15 more, there'd be 8. If I had 15 more, there'd be 12. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to pass out the assignment. You'll do it on paper, get it checked with me, and put it in the Google Classroom.